Hey y'all, what's up? Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back. Welcome back. Listen, we got to talk about growing up hip hop. The show is back as well as Romeo. All right. But we're going to get into Romeo later on in the season whenever he comes. Okay. But for now, I want to talk about Egypt and this baby and Sam. We got to talk about Miss Angela and whatever else she got going on. And we definitely got to talk about Tanice and the situation involving her dad. So let's get right into it. Egypt, she is 8 weeks pregnant. And unfortunately, she suffered a miscarriage prior to getting pregnant with this child. So she's really happy to be pregnant with this child. If this is what Egypt wants for herself, then congratulations. You know what I'm saying? On the outside looking in, I'm cringing. I don't think that Sam needs another child at this time. I think Sam has a lot of things going on, and I just don't think that another child is something that he needs, okay? First of all, when I was watching the show, I was thinking to myself, listen, they better not go throughout this season without addressing Sam's charges, and it looks like they are going to be addressing that, all right? Because, things have been delayed for the most part, so he still has this case hanging over his head and not knowing exactly what's going to happen to his future, okay? But because Egypt wanted to be so connected to this man all the way down, period, she made sure that she ended up pregnant. So here we are, okay? But she couldn't do it by herself. Let's be clear about that. But let's keep going. Now, I wanted to highlight this as well because I feel like every time the show returns, we see Sam and Egypt in a new damn house or at least a new living arrangement. Either they got them a new home somewhere or they done moved back in with Pepper or they done got this or that. Now they saying they done sat up there and bought a house. I said, y'all had better bought a house because the first thing I'm thinking about is stability for that baby. All right. Y'all need to get that baby some type of motherfucking stability. So they decided to buy a house out there in Las Vegas. And it looks like they got them a little garden in the back. They got them a greenhouse in the back. And I feel like that greenhouse may be exactly where Sam is going to end up growing his weed. And I'm going to tell you, if it's legal out there in Las Vegas, let me tell you something, Sam, you need to hurry up and hop on that, baby. Hop on that. Go ahead and put that weed or whatever you're going to put back there in that greenhouse and get to selling it. And make sure you got a good lock on it and whatever else you got going on, some type of security system around it. Okay. So you can go ahead and get this money in for these kids, okay? So that's just period. That would be one idea, all right? Now, Egypt learns that she's going to be going on tour with her mom, and unfortunately, Sam is not. Egypt is feeling a way about this, and I say, Egypt, you know what gets on my nerves so much about you? You always think about other people before you think about yourself, and that's such a problem for me, okay? I need you to grow out of that, and primarily, you always think about Sam before you think about yourself. And I know Sam has a lot of bad characteristics or whatever people like to say, but I do feel like sometimes he does want the best for her at times. Like, I don't think he's truly upset about her getting the opportunity to perform and not him. I don't think that he's upset about that. I think he was just asking Pepper, and Pepper said, oh, I'm so sorry, but it's really my daughter because I can really pull strings for my daughter. I can't really pull strings for you like that, at least not yet, okay? And we always think about you and focus on you, but it's time to focus on her or whatever. And I'm like, what a fine time to focus on her now that she's with child and you want her to go on tour with you. I guess, girl, take whatever it is that you can get. Sam told her, listen, go out there and do it for the both of us. I don't think that he really cared. I think he just wanted the conversation to be about his mom, about her mom and her touring. And he knows how much he's so embedded into her life, how much she's allowed him to be so embedded into her life that she may try and talk herself out of this because he's not a part. So I feel like that's one of the reasons why he walked away. All right. Now, later on, we see where Creed links up with Angela. Now, during this visit, we learned that Angela is crazy about music. And she actually wants to work on singing or at least rapping or whatever she wants to do. She wants to drop some music. We'll see. Angela, you need a lot of work on the vocal cords, girl. You need a lot of work. But, hey, it ain't nothing that auto-tune or anything else can't help with, as we have a lot of singers that are not good at singing but maybe good at performing. You feel what I'm saying? This is going to be very different for Angela because I've never seen her in this light. But if that's what you want to do, girl, go out there and do your motherfucking thing. You feel what I'm saying? But let's move on. Let's get to Tanice. Tanice speaks on her dad being a producer of a variety of artists. Very interesting. I say it's very interesting because I've never, ever heard this about Tanice ever. Never knew her dad was affiliated with the industry at all. And I said, what a fine time for your dad to now be affiliated. Nobody mentioned that at first. Doesn't mean that it's not true. It's just ironic. But okay, let's keep going, okay? Never heard of her dad ever. Now, she's upset with him because he won't come see her son, JoJo. And I believe he also referenced the baby as though the child wasn't his grandchild. Like, oh, that ain't my grandson. And the baby's name isn't JoJo. That's the daddy's name. But the baby's name is Joey. Now, when she FaceTimes JoJo to tell him about what the dad was saying, Some part of me felt like JoJo was a bit insensitive to her. Because she said, you know what, if it's an issue, I'll figure it out, I'll work it out, we'll get it resolved. And he kind of told her, well, you ain't got no choice but to figure it out, work it out, and get it resolved, because I'm not talking to him. And it's like, why you come off so harsh? Are you always like this? Why did you come off so harsh in this conversation? Like, we know that you don't like that man or whatever. We know she stuck with him as a daddy. Like, you doing, like, I don't know. It was something about the energy or whatever. Like, I don't know. I don't think that was something that she needed to hear in that moment when she wanted to talk to her dad. I believe JoJo said that he's tried to have conversations with him. I think he feels like her dad may be disrespectful, which is why he may keep his distance from her daddy. Okay. But, there's that. What else is going on? I also thought of this. I thought during the previews, we see where somebody is going to throw a drink or a cup of ice or whatever on JoJo. I'm starting to believe that that person was her dad that's going to throw that on JoJo. I have to go back and find the previews that I saw on social media and stuff and run it back to see who the guy was, what he looked like, because I think that it might end up being Tanice's dad, but I could be wrong, okay? And if he is the person that's going to do that, that is so effed up, if you ask me, because it's really, really, really going to put a strain on their relationship, okay? He and his daughters, okay? And JoJo's. But let's keep going, okay? Sam links up with Eric, okay? Mouth Eric, all right? Now, he meets up with Eric over there in a weed location. He tells him about Egypt being pregnant and how Treach wants to have a conversation with him. He says Treach is really happy to be a granddad, but at the same time, he doesn't know how Treach is going to handle things or handle him, because Sam knows that he needs to show up more than what he's showing up for Treach's daughter. He knows that. That's why he's a bit apprehensive and not really sure how Treach is going to be coming at him when he has him meeting up with him at a jewelry store, right? But some part of me was like, why you had to tell Eric? Out of all people, why is you telling Eric anything? I just feel like Eric is a messy E. Okay, that's his new name. Like, Messy E is what it's giving. Like, I know he can't wait to run back and tell everybody what Sam just told him. And it's giving like, Eric don't really like you like that, Sam. Not in my opinion. I feel like he act like he does, but I don't think that man really care about you. I feel like Eric strikes me as a person that'll act cool with you in your face and then be talking shit about you behind your back. So it's like, Sam, because you're limited on friendships, I know you're going to continue to rock with him, but honestly, that boy don't like you like that, okay? But let's go ahead and keep moving, all right? Now, and that's when we learned about Sam's case, and we learned that the case was actually pushed back, unfortunately. Angela goes to see her vocal coach. Those vocals are not vocaling, if you ask me, but the coach is going to continue to work with her. Now, Tanice's daddy did show up to baby Joey's birthday party, okay? Now, as soon as he came in, I think he was just trying to see his grandson, right? Tanice said that her dad was trying to make it all about him. And I said that man was not trying to make it all about him. I did not get that vibe at all. He just came in there. You wanted him to be there. He showed up to be there. He wanted to be there to see his grandson. That's what you wanted. But then production tried to force you to have an unnecessary conversation in this moment about your relationship with your dad when your dad was really there trying to see the kid. Now, I understand her being upset and frustrated with the things that her dad said, but at the same time, it was giving very much so forced. It was giving production kept trying to force y'all to have this conversation, and it was very awkward. And the daddy was getting like really disrespectful at that point. Right? He was like, I came, I saw, I held, I did what I needed to do. Now you over here trying to do the most and have this conversation, and I'm not in that place. And instead of her honoring it, she had to disregard what he was saying and continue to force the conversation because that's what production was asking her to do. I hated it, okay? Her dad complains about JoJo not walking in. I see, Daddy, this is where you took things left for me. You walked into this man, the daddy was upset with JoJo when he walked in for not like speaking or whatever. But my issue with you, Daddy, was the fact that you came into this man's house. You walked into JoJo's house. Who the hell do you think you are that just because you're somebody's dad, you can walk into the house and think that I'm supposed to automatically speak to you? Like, I can, yeah, if I want to. You feel what I'm saying? But you walked into my house. So when you walk into somebody's house, into their property, you need to at least greet them all. Who the hell do you think you are? It's like you misunderstanding the levels that and of how this is supposed to go, in my personal opinion, okay? Her dad was definitely giving weirdo to me. If I was her, I would not have forced the issue, but the more they talked about it, it definitely was giving production. I don't know if anybody else caught this, but for me, I just felt like the conversation, the disagreement no longer appeared to be a father and daughter talking to me. It really came off as a girlfriend, boyfriend having a disagreement. I didn't really like the dynamic of the disagreement. I was like, there's something about this is off. And I had to ask my fiance because we was watching it. And I said, babe, I said, is it just me? Or does this argument no longer seem like a father and daughter argument? He said, nah, it don't. It's something about it. I said, yeah. I said, it's giving like girlfriend, boyfriend or something. I just really don't like that. Like, ugh. Anyway, there's that. Daddy is definitely a clown. Don't get me wrong. But I also think that Tanice, when he first came in, he wasn't on the energy that you said. But girl, by the end of it, I saw exactly what you were saying. Okay. Like, girl, he doing a little too much. Okay. Now, I don't know if it was that he was irritated because y'all was forcing this conversation to happen, or what was going on, but it was awkward. Now let's get back to Sam and Treach, because they definitely link up. Sam and Treach had a talk. Treach wants Sam to understand, like, you are somebody's husband, okay? You're a husband, and now things are about to get harder for you from just being a husband, but now you're about to be a dad. You're already a dad, but you're about to be a dad to your wife's child. Like, the dynamic is different. Like, y'all gonna always have help, but you should always expect the help, basically, is what he was saying. If y'all feel on hard times, like, yeah, it's not Pepper's responsibility to take you in, right? It's you as a man should be able to get your SHI together for this family that you wanted so damn bad. Like, I'll look out for my daughter and my grandchild, but as far as you, I'm not going to have no grown-ass man living in my household. You feel what I'm saying? Because if I could hold the fort down for me and my wife and then some, I expect you to put yourself in a position to be able to do the same thing for your wife and your kids, if you ask me. So I felt like the conversation Treach was having with Sam on his head, listen, that conversation was very much so needed. Sam looked really sad a little bit, but Sam, like, you've been around here effing around for the longest, and it is time for you to show and prove. And I be wanting Sam to show and prove, but then he never does it. So hopefully this time Sam really gets it together and he shows and prove whatever he needs to prove to Treach. But everything Treach told him, he wasn't lying. Like, yeah, like, okay, the price just went up. Like, you on a different level with it now. I was able to look out for y'all, but I'm not going to be looking out for your whole family, and then you as a man not being held accountable for your position in your relationship or in your marriage or whatever, in your familyhood. Like, we're not going to do that. Then Treach goes on to let him know, like, listen, I feel like with my daughter, she's coming into motherhood. This is something new for her, so I feel like she needs more than just the knowledge you give her. She needs outside knowledge, okay? And Sam is like, well, who you thinking? He was like, hell, TT just had her first baby. They're family. Okay, at the end of the day, family's going to fight, they're going to bicker, whatever, but it's not going to change what it is at the end of the day. They still family. So Treach is basically trying to get to a place where he feels like TT and Egypt need to be able to come back together, because he feels like, as TT being the older cousin, she could give a lot of guidance to Egypt. And it's like, yeah, but Egypt has to want that guidance. And also, TT also has to lead from a space of not trying to down talk anybody, because she may feel like she's so far ahead of them or so advanced or whatever the case is, And I also understand with Egypt being so young, it could be at a place where it doesn't matter what TT say. Egypt could feel insulted by it. So Egypt, if you were to have that conversation with TT to better your relationship, you have to also be open to some of the things that she tells you. And I don't think that everything she says is going to be like to hurt you or whatever like that, but you just got to be open to receiving some stuff and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So they just gonna have to work on their relationship, and they got a long road ahead of them. And I feel like a lot of the antics that happened between TT, Egypt, and all of that, I feel like Sam could have been in a place where he was really feeling himself with being on this reality show and stuff, and keeping up the antics and stuff like that to keep SHI going, to secure their spot on the show. But now y'all getting older, and SHI is changing, So now you seeing how you probably had played things in the past. You should not have been playing that, because now it's going to be affecting y'all future just a little bit when it comes to the dynamics in the relationship, okay? So they just need to work on that, have a conversation, and get that stuff, taken care of. I definitely wanted to highlight the fact that Sam's voice really changed when he talks to Treach. I don't know if anybody else knows that. Hell, my voice probably would change if I was up there talking to Treach, okay? The voice definitely got a bit zeeper, okay? Got a little zeeper when he talked to Treach, baby. But when he was over there talking, and his posture even changed. But when he was over there talking to Messy E, baby, it was giving a bit of high pitch, the normal Sam voice, and it was giving goofy just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He was being himself. But when he was with that daddy, baby, that boy sobered up, matured up real quick, like. And I was here for it. I'm like, this the Sam I want to see. I want to see that Sam that's in front of Treach, okay? I want to see that Sam that's gonna be about his business to get this and that together. Sam ended up telling Treach about how, of course, finances and stuff like that is really tough, but he's not going to be focusing on the music. Okay, he's going to move over and kind of work on being like a fighter and stuff like that. But he says the first fight they're not going to pay, and Treach is just like, okay, I mean, I hear you, I know you got to do something in the hole, honey, I understand, I get it, but you better make some motherfucking shake, because you already know that baby gonna be here within a few months. Okay, so I need you to get your shit together. And Sam is really believing that it's gonna pay off, and I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I'm kind of hoping that it does pay off. Like, get it together. Like, I don't want to see Sam on this show being down bad for the whole season. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, forever. Like, I don't want to see that. We've seen enough of that. I want to see evolution at this point. I want to see Sam grow and do better, or whatever the case is, because obviously, whether we like it or not, Egypt is stuck with him. She wants to be stuck with him, and can't nobody do nothing about it. So the least he can do is evolve and become a better person, I suppose, for her, for himself, and everything. But that's just what I got from the first episode of Growing Up Hip Hop. If you ask me, I mean, it was decent for what it was, you know what I'm saying? And we'll see how it's going to play out. That's all that I got, though. I want y'all to hop down in the comments and let me know what you thought about the first episode of Growing Up Hip Hop, okay? Hop down in the comments. Let me know everything. Don't forget to like the video, honey, and subscribe to the channel. I'm JamiThatsMe. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. As I said, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at JamiThatsMe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.